Welcome to Rebel Rock. My name is Dan. We got some more records to go through. I had some luck at the thrift store this week, which it almost never happens at this point, guys. It's you always see the big band music. You see a lot of the novelty records there. Just stuff that no one really wants, which is weird. At one point that was pop music and everyone wanted it. But now nobody wants it. Odd how that works, I guess. So we did have some luck. The first thing we found was a very random Streets is Watching soundtrack with Jay-Z. Look at that. So I don't know this movie at all. I guess this was a movie. It seems like more of just a long, maybe music video, from what I gather. MOP's on here, Memphis Bleak. Yeah. Okay. Just an odd record to find though at the thrift store, right? Cool one to add to the collection. Well worth $1.75 in my opinion. Wow. So this was sitting there. And we know this is the album that just resurfaced really because of Stranger Things, that last season. So this is Kate Bush's 5th album, and a lot of people say it's probably her best work. Am I a super fan of Kate Bush? No. Do I appreciate Kate Bush? Sure I do. It's always been like, yeah, she's cool, she's weird, which I can respect. But either way, this was sitting there, and I was like, man, all right, I'm grabbing that because it's an album that I do want in my collection. I've been rocking this all week too, and it's great, really good, weird synth pop kind of stuff. I can get behind it. And like 3 hits on the first side, so that's something. And then I open it up right when I was about to spin it, and I'm like, this is original pressing from '85, marble vinyl. It's a pricey record too. It's like a $70 record. So we did well with that. It's staying right in the collection. I ain't getting rid of that. Found this at the thrift. I love basketball, especially this time period. This is 79, 80, so this would have been like Magic's pretty much rookie year. Kareem's on here. I'm a Celtics fan, but the villains were the Lakers, so you go with it. So I added it to the collection. Denny's restaurant though. What a weird crossover thing. Neat. Novelty. We picked up this Aztec 2-step. I didn't know anything about these guys. And they're a 2-piece folk rock kind of duo. I don't even know how to describe them because I just found out about them. And I listened to a couple tracks and I was like, yeah, I can get behind that. Yeah, I don't know. What did this come out? 72. So you can kind of imagine what they sound like. It's an awful group name. Aztec 2-step. But the album not so bad. Thrift store, Joe Jackson, Big World. It's nice. I don't know this album very well. Night and Day, I do know. I know Joe Jackson's early stuff like Look Sharp. I don't know this album though. What year did this come out? 86. So this probably was the follow-up to Night and Day, if I had to guess. Either way, great condition, $1.75, well worth it. More novelty. Adventures of G.I. Joe. This is one of those albums with the book, so you can, listen and read along. I always like these. Subject matter's good. Who doesn't want... Yeah, because you always see those. It's always like Peter Pan or something kind of lame. G.I. Joe, yeah. Last one from the thrift, Suzanne Vega. This was her big album, right? This has Tom's Diner on it and it has Luca on there. Both big hits for her. I have this on CD. It's good. I like the hits more than the kind of filler stuff, but in perfect shape as well. Yeah. Into the collection it goes. I picked up some punk rock vinyl. This is cool. This is cool. We got check this out. We got Richard Backus in Luckiest Girls, right? Richard is the guitar player from one of my all-time favorite bands, D-Generation. And he made this essentially solo record. I guess he'd written it and been sitting on it for a while and recorded it, and here it is. Now we got a copy of it. I heard it on Bandcamp and Spotify, I do believe. I've heard the whole album. I enjoyed it, but I felt like it was time. I needed it in my collection, so now we got it in the collection. Always gonna support Richard. Another band, throwback, high school years. Lower East Side Stitches were one of my favorite bands. This is their newest album, Still Bleeding. This just came out not long ago. 300 copies were made. I'm happy to have it. I listened to the first side so far. It sounds like what the LES Stitches sound like. That good street punk, New York City vibe. I like it. I love it. I'm sure the album will grow on me as I listen to it some more. First couple listens, like I said, it's all been side one. Just kind of getting used to it. But yeah, it sounds like what you'd expect from him. So I'm happy to add that. Added Dead Moon in the Graveyard to the collection. Man, Dead Moon is one of those groups, right? They were so DIY and just so if you were there in that scene, I feel like Dead Moon was like, yeah, you had the records. But if you weren't in that scene in Portland, Oregon, I feel like you kind of missed out. They did some touring, of course, but they were always under the radar just because it seemed like they were doing everything themselves, which I respect the hell out of. And obviously the singer Fred died a couple years ago now, so there is no more Dead Moon. But I would like to get all the records. I love the sound. It's always like lo-fi, garagey, dark themes. They're fun, really fun. So great one to add. Snagged up. So I love the Black Lips so much. I think in the last 15, 20 years, Black Lips are one of the best bands and consistently pushing it and evolving as a band. This is what year did this come out? 2000. What is that? 2000, I don't even know. It's right in the middle of the career. I do know that. This is an album I slept on, but it has the single Crystal Night on it, which is fantastic. But I'm glad these all got reissued because before this album was kind of pricey. So snagged it up when I got the chance. This is the newest album by the Black Lips that came out, I think, last year. Yep. I love this album. They've kind of gone in this direction of this cosmic, psychedelic cowboy kind of thing. I don't know. They did it on the last album, and they're continuing it with this album. The song No Rave is great. Lost Angel. This album's really... The more I listen to it, the better this gets. I just... Black Lips. Love them. Last one we snagged up was this album by The Trouble, and I think this is a singles and demos collection from 97 to 99. This has a bunch of classic songs on it. And Trouble, Boston band, hardcore punk, oi, kind of hybrid thing that was happening in Boston. They would have been playing right there with like Dropkick Murphys and 30 Seconds Over Tokyo and bands like that. So yeah, I'm happy to have it. And that's what we got. That's what we added to the collection this week. Some good stuff right there. So until next time, guys, you do what you do, and you toodaloo.